Content over everything.
Hello, here is a second session about financing, financialization, and where money come from, plus which commodity is more valuable in the world today and why. And there is this gentleman here that is a regular now and then because it fortunately the good fortune to travel quite a bit, but is very informed about most of the subject that I engaged in. Is very informed and it's a great pleasure to interact with him. This other gentleman is also regular,
Barry.
originally from New Zealand,
My name's Barry.
and is a good addition to the park. And this other gentleman is my best friend from a long time. Is one of among my best friends beside Heiko. And
me? What about me?
well, you too, obviously.
Thank you.
But with him, we connect very well because of politics. We are very extremely like-minded when it comes to understand politics, world affairs, and today I found out he's very good and very knowledgeable about finance. So hopefully we can grow some extra knowledge by interchanging whatever speciality we have within the field of financing and financialization. All right, so my statement when I came here, I wrote it there, it is how money is created and who creates legal tender and puts it into circulation. You know, create and circulate. And why we live in an economy whereby money is digital. Digital money is 97%, and real money, the one that we carry in our pockets, the coins, the bills, is only 3%. Why? We are trapped into this digital economy whereby a banker takes the laptop and puts digits. Those digits go into a ledger and it creates bank accounts from nothing. There is no money, no value, no gold reserve that backs up what are the digits he has put in the bank in the name of his customers, and he can do so and get away with it because he's part of the banking system. And what I was saying before, I was talking about this idea that the money should be backed up of gold and is in American vaults of the Bank of America. This is the government Bank of America, which has nothing to do with the Federal Reserve. And it is quite a puzzle thinking that gold is the most valuable commodity and should be diamond because diamonds are worth more than gold. But diamonds, unlike gold, have different types of quality. Some diamonds are far more valuable than others. And that is what decreased the possibility of storing diamonds as a highly valuable commodity. The differentiation in quality, and now even worse because they can create diamonds artificially. So there's no way diamond will ever overtake gold. And why gold? When there are so many other commodities that can be considered very valuable because they can be used in construction, they can be used metal that, called. Yeah, please do. We are speaking about finance.
Okay, good.
Is it okay for you?
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
And so the puzzle is why gold is the valuable commodity that because it's valuable, it is stored in the vaults of all banks,
Do you have a theory, or do you want other people to come in?
Yeah, to engage into trying to figure out why it is gold and not other metals or commodities.
In the old times, going back to ancient history, there was a system of bartering.
Yeah,
So, like for example, you give me your goat, I will give you my clothes or something like that.
yeah,
But as it became more sophisticated, then people came up with the idea of coins. Now, it's interesting to say why gold. The Roman Empire, when there were periods of wealth, the Roman Empire used to do the coins in gold.
yeah, gold
When
coins, yes.
Yeah. When at times where things were difficult, the purity of the gold will decrease. So they would add other metals to it, so tin or whatever. So the purity of gold would go down and down. Let's say there was a war and the Roman Empire lost, then the purity of the gold coins would go down.
Yeah,
So one of the reasons gold has been chosen was the ease in which it can be put into coin.
into coins,
And
yes.
also the
yes.
work that is required to extract gold has an equivalence. So there is an equivalence to the amount of work that is required to extract the gold from the earth, turn it into gold, and that hasn't really changed throughout the history.
Well, I
So
mean,
that's what it has changed somewhat because now we've got machinery that can bring the soil
Yeah.
into vast quantities and pick out the gold. But
The extraction
it's
is.
an equivalent. There's an equivalence between the amount of work put in to extract the gold and then turning it into commodity or turning it into coins.
Yes.
That's the reason why gold has been used.
Yeah.
because gold is very suitable for currency for a number of different reasons. One obviously is the fact that it's very difficult to extract, so it's not going to suddenly inflate 10 times as much gold. It's also beautiful, and that helps. Psychologically, it helps, and it doesn't rust. And also historically, because it's heavier than other metals, it's very, very difficult to palm off an impure gold coin. All you have to do is just stick it on scales, and you instantly have a fake coin. All of those made it ideal currency. Silver, of course, is useful for much the same reasons, but it does over time tarnish. And it's more plentiful as well. But you're probably aware there is a movement towards a return to gold currency.
Yes.
I'm going to show you something.
Yeah,
I have got this thing here. This credit card here is linked to a gold vault in Switzerland.
in Switzerland.
Every time you make a payment,
But it's a Visa MasterCard.
it is. It's about every time you make a payment, a little bit of gold is sold. A tiny bit of gold. And the great thing about that is if you look at the price of gold, people always say the price of gold remains the same.
Yes.
But actually, if you look at the price of gold in sterling, it pops up and down all the time.
Yeah.
That's because sterling is going up and down.
Yes.
So what I do is I check the price of gold every day. If the price of gold has gone down, I put money on my account. If the price has gone up, I spend money on the account. And if you time it well, you can make about 3% a month if you get it right. I'm just saying, I recommend it.
Yes, yes.
And one more thing I wanted to say about gold. One of the big things that revolutionized European finance and European economics was when the Spanish found gold. In 1492, when Columbus I went to his house actually in Genoa, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Went to South America. The Spanish found gold. The gold that they plundered from South America and the silver that they plundered, they used it for their various religious wars. And not only that, they melted it down and they put it into a lot of the cathedrals in Spain. For example, Seville Cathedral and many other cathedrals in Spain. And what happened, the religious wars that followed, for example, the 30 Years' War and all the other religious wars, where Spain was the biggest power in Europe, the gold went into various armies around Europe because there were mercenary armies. So the mercenary armies had to be paid in gold.
Yeah.
And many of the mercenaries were Germans that were from many other states. So this way the gold went throughout Europe, was able to go spread around Europe. And those wars kind of revitalized, in a way, European economics. So gold became the number one thing that was sought after. It's always been like that, but especially when the Spanish found the gold and silver following Columbus. That's one other
Yeah,
reason.
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
But now you could say the primary
So
commodity is oil, not
what
gold.
is your point of view on this incredible value of gold throughout history? It's not just now.
I
Why?
think it's largely emotional.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned it was beautiful. It's important.
Yeah.
Sign of wealth. There's
And,
no
and, and,
people
it,
like
and
show
it's
off.
always going to be valuable because it always has. No one can really conceive that gold's losing its value completely.
Yeah. It's strange because, for example, jewelry made of gold, it is very expensive when you buy it, but the second-hand gold jewelry value is almost halved. You know, it doesn't maintain it is gold. If you want the value to be maintained, you must have gold coins, not
Yes,
jewelry.
because what they do, they measure the weight of the gold, and they give you the weight of the gold in the cash equivalent.
Yeah,
They
not
don't
the
actually-
work, not the work.
Not
yeah.
the work. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
consider the work.
that's right. Yeah. In any case, what I wanted to stress now that it is somehow the problem of boom and bust is this digital money. You know, when the feds print money or gives a check to the commercial bank to make loans to their customers, they do so completely out of non-existent physical value in money, even in gold. You know, there is no value in the reserve of the bank to back up whatever check they give to banks for the banks to make the loans to their customers. So this process of financialization, being all digital, creates problems like in 2008 when all of a sudden $550 billion were missing because the capitalists started all of a sudden to buy gold with digital money, not real money. And that was a situation that could collapse the economies of all over the world. But the government of United States put into the banking system $250 billion to patch up the crack. You know, it was a terrible crack. And with 250,000 backed by gold reserve could patch up the system. But the next one that they say is coming soon might not be patchable anymore. The crack will be so massive that unfortunately it will...
I tell you, last week I was in the Bank of England gold vaults. As I say, I like trading gold. So I'm very, very interested in rumours in the city. And if you want to know what's really going on in the city, what you do is you go into a pub or a wine bar and you just listen.
Yes.
Now, there is a big scandal coming over gold.
Yes.
Now, the reason
We are talking about finance.
about gold
Yeah.
supposedly says does not exist.
Yes, they painted it over. apparently in America is that they paint it over a leg to make it look like gold.
Yes.
They call it it's not actual gold, and a lot of gold is actually now owned by Russia and China and Germany. They've been buying vast amounts of gold.
Well, that's just it. I'll tell you the full weirdness of it.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I think the Bank of China, who now owns probably more gold than other people, I don't know,
Yeah.
asked for their deposits, which they had in
In the
Federal
vaults.
Reserve.
Yeah.
They wanted them back from gold.
Yeah.
And Federal Reserve said something very interesting, which tells a lot. It said, you can have it back, but in 10-year instalments. In other words, they don't have the gold.
Yeah.
The reserves, the gold reserves of important rocks have never been audited. Basically, they say how much they've got, and everybody else believes them. Now, Bank of England has a similar situation. Bundesbank a little while ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gordon Brown sold it.
Nobody's talking. Well, no, I'll talk about later. Bundesbank has been withdrawing its gold reserves from the Bank of England and taking them to Germany because it seems that trust in the international gold reserve
Yeah, the gold reserve, yeah.
has disappeared or is disappearing. Of course, nobody wants to talk about it because if they do that, that will destroy the confidence further.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's a really fascinating thing going on at the
Next
moment.
thing- next big thing is silver. People
Nobody
say-
will speak. Nobody will speak.
Nobody speak about that.
Well, no, of course not. If you, if confidence in the system collapses,
Yeah.
then so does whatever you're
Yeah.
trying to sort out. So I think they're under the scenes they're trying to sort things
Yeah.
out, but without really being particularly honest about it.
Well, one good example is when the Tories took over, the national debt was about 0.8 trillion, 800 billion was the national debt. Now they introduced 8 years of austerity. Now you would expect the national debt to go down from 800 billion to maybe 500 billion or less. It's actually more than double. It's now 2.2 trillion. 2.2 trillion is the national debt. So despite 8 years of austerity, we're more in debt than we've ever been. This is what most people don't even know.
Yeah.
A lot of Tory voters don't know to the extent in which the economic catastrophe
Yeah.
done under the former Chancellor, Gideon, we call him, was done. Some of it was like this. So what they did was when the banks went bankrupt, they went after the poorest. So they slashed the benefits for
Yes.
disabled people, they slashed housing benefits,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
But often what happens was disabled people took the government to
Yeah.
court
Yeah.
and they won.
No, we are done. We are done. Yeah. Thank you. Now we go to the legend of Speaker's Corner, ContentCOE, the legend of
I'll be off.
Speaker's Corner since 1986.
You know what? You are talking like right wingers.
Yeah.
A lot of the things you're talking about, Neil, is talking to us are asked by the official economics.
ContentCOE everything. From young to
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Some scholars said
Listen.
she was not 16. So you never. No, I don't know. Bro, this is not a commenter.
No, not comment. That's everyone.
Wait.
Sahel Bukhari,
No.
5236. Let me read. Narrated Aisha. Mohammed was screaming